stuck in the bed of a dry irrigation canal. Reporter Kale and photographer Dave found her. The location is very remote, and no one else was around to help. Luckily, Dave had a length of rope in his car. For around half an hour, they tried everything. The canal bed was very unstable, and they could only go out a few feet. The best approach seemed to be looping the rope around the deer behind her elbows several times. The poor deer was really scared and ran away from them into the mud again when they released her for the first time. They needed to move away as soon as she was free, so she wouldn't run right back into the mud. Finally, they got the deer out. She ran away immediately to her children. Thank God these two men had noticed her, and now she is free and safe. Frankie got a call about a deer with her head stuck in a bucket. He had to act fast. When he came, the deer was already in the water. The deer in the water was swimming in circles. The water was ice cold.
A little bit more. Almost. I got it.
She was going further and further out. Frankie was not confident to swim. Thank God, he took out the bucket. But the deer was so confused and continued going in circles. She understood that the danger had passed and was very calm. It was so great seeing her run off. It was ice, freezing cold. It was a big mission to rescue him. The rescuer wore special equipment so as not to get frozen. Finally, everyone was fine and warmed up, and Lily came back to her owner. This poor fellow got stuck in a hammock. His big antler was tangled in it. He got really nervous because of that. A man helped the deer to get out. What a relief! So, best of luck to this beautiful deer. One day, a rescue team saw an incident on their way. A bike had badly hit a kitten who was in search of food from trash. How could someone be so careless? Rescuers stopped and hurriedly checked him. He was crying but had no external injuries. They fed him at a safe place and then took him for checkup. What did the vet tell them after examining him? They picked and examined him all over, but found no external injuries. He was so hungry and quickly ate all the food. He was underweight. After that, the people took him to the shelter. He was not so trusting and was observing the environment all the time. After shifting him with some other rescued kittens, his stress has gone. Now he plays a lot. People named him Oliver. He's getting active day by day. That was really a life-changing story. Long water flow. A poor cow is trapped in the canal. It's scary to imagine what could have happened if the rescuers hadn't done their job so delicately. They had only one try to catch the animal into the excavator bucket. Well done. Sometimes dogs can act as rescuers ready to help their fellow animals. It's worth to mention Labradors are trained to save people from water, and he coped easily with a little relative. Good boy. After the destruction of Hakova Hydroelectric Station, a lot of people and animals required help. We want to show you some of these. Look at these frightened eyes. The poor kitty swam to the rescuer's boat by itself. Now it is safe, as well as this dog, though it's still scared even sitting in the boat. And here a man says, some people are carrying jewelry and someone is taking treasures more valuable than gold. It was a green-eyed Sphinx cat which, as it appeared to be, wasn't even the woman's pet. What a kind heart. Some dogs don't mind swimming after their owners. Such a high water level. It's amazing how this big, burly guy endured waiting for rescuers. Several saved dogs were waiting for him. It's great! And here comes one more big fella. A sweet Maine Coon is safe now too. Somebody was provided a baby bath as a boat. But someone resisted and denied help, while the others were happy to it. Ice again, and a new dog. Rescue workers put a fire ladder towards this husky to dispose the weight and not to fall through the ice. The rescue was a success. Like in the following story. However, they had to chase this dog around the frozen lake. The frightened dog fell through the ice. The rescue team had a cold bath too, although they were ready and wore special clothes filled with air to float. The dog was scared and didn't understand what was going on and even tried to bite the rescuers. A crowd of spectators exploded into loud applause to thank the rescuers for a job well done.
Hurrah!
One rescue team was called to help a small dog with its head stuck in a wall and unable to free himself. He was very scared and panicked. To make matters worse, his body was now trapped in a small pool of water. He was distressed and scared. The people worked out to free him. He was crying so desperately. Finally, they got him. He was checked up and washed. The boy walked away on his way. A happy end. The kitten had somehow gotten stuck in a washing machine. It's pretty mysterious. He was crying so loudly. Rescuers rushed to help him. The man spent some time to carefully cut the machine around the baby's head. Poor baby, how did you get in there? After the successful rescue, the man took her home to clean and let her rest a little bit. Now this baby is Chi-chan, a pretty name for the pretty girl. Now they are looking for people who will become Taya-san's new family. And a small tortoise missed the ebb and failed to swim away in the sea. The sharp spikes from the ground and mangroves could be a barrier. The tortoise was lucky that boiling hot day, as this man was nearby. This woman helps homeless animals find new owners. This baby was thrown away to a landfill. What a cruel thing to do. Look at these innocent little eyes. The babe was taken to a shelter in hopes to find new loving owners. Poor baby kitten had fallen into a barrel with water. He was crying. Look at him. No. He's so dirty and wet. No mom around. Poor baby. The CCTV camera caught the kitten falling down by itself while playing with his brothers. The baby was wet and shaking from the cold. After rescuing, the baby got a name, Lilo. And now this guy became an unexpected addition to the big family. Now he receives a lot of love. This poor coyote fell into a fishing pool. He pressed himself to the corner of the pool, trying not to drown. Rescuers tied a rope around his head and pulled him up. It was hard for every member of the mission. But it was also a challenge to take this rope out. This guy was so scared. He wasn't used to being around humans. After being released from the rope, he rushed away out into the wildlife. So the story has a happy ending. This kitten somehow got stuck between big old bricks. He was crying in pain and calling for help. Fortunately, kind people helped him. Now he is all right. Daughter cried to her father. Like an icebreaker, he crushed the ice in front of him until he got to the dog. He saved the animal at the expense of his health, as the man caught a cold and the ice scratched his body. He had no regrets. We appreciate his kind deed. And this rescue is a miracle. It was rather late and dark in the street, and there was little chance to see or hear the dog because of the noise from cars passing by. The animal was lucky. Silly little squirrel got stuck in a drain system. The grass grew very tight to the pipe. That's why she couldn't get out. People dug around to get the poor fellow out. Finally, the squirrel is free. So people need to walk away because the squirrel is so afraid. Bye and take care, pretty squirrel. And now look at this incredible second chance story, which of course has a happy ending. A FPWC rescue team rescued a bear cub that had been caught in a trap. He was screaming and crying. The baby was estimated to be only a year old. The rescue team found this poor fellow in a scared and fragile state, desperately attempting to free himself from a leash. It was tightly wrapped around his neck. The bear was tranquilized from a safe and elevated position. It allowed to get close to the bear and provide urgent medical treatment. We cannot imagine how terrified he must have been feeling. Rescuers identified a safe release site nearby and moved the bear to this location before releasing him. Finally, the cub woke up, shaking himself off and disappearing into the dense vegetation. Be careful next time, buddy. A rescue team received a text about a homeless dog by a busy road. The doggy managed to remain safe until rescuers arrived. So they were trying to catch her. It was not easy. It's so important to be patient and wait for the right moment. This cat was so frightened that it could scratch a rescuer. Everything turned out well and the kitty is in a safe, secure place. And this situation is both sad and funny. This baby fell into the toilet and didn't manage to get out. He might be too curious or thirsty. Rescued during extreme flooding. The rescue team spotted the pup scared and alone on the porch of a flooded home. The sweet smile on the canine's face says it all. The poor guy had no way to escape the rising floodwaters. But fortunately, people found him and brought him to safety. Another dog who struggled from the storm was rescued as well. She appeared to have been left behind. Also, one reporter saved the pup who was about to drown in the rising floodwaters. And another rescue team pulled 2 cats out of the water. After, they brought them to safety. So do you see how storms can be dangerous for animals? But people always rush to rescue them. This doggy with a sad face got stuck in a pond with wastewater. Look at him. He must be really upset about this situation. A policeman took him back. He's not sad anymore. Be careful, sweet boy. A poor kitten fell into a river. The watermarks from her trying to get out is so sad. She's such a smart kitty. She used that blanket and saved herself. Be careful, sweet baby.